Hello, everybody. My name is Kieran Kyo. This is my brief part one hello video to my new group. Um, I'm pursuing an AAS in fire science, and I'll have my degree in June of this month. After that, I plan to go on to paramedic school and get a job as a firefighter paramedic. If I don't have a job already as a firefighter EMT. Um, I currently live in a fire station. I'm a resident firefighter at Summit Lake. I like to lift weights and fish, and other than that, most of what I do is school or somehow related to the fire department. Um, so the first thing I have to talk about is the danger of a single story. That's the first thing on my list, and it was the last video that I watched for the assignment this week. Um, I thought it was a very interesting video, um, and for me to think it's an assignment from school is very interesting. Takes a little bit um, because I tend to write things off very quickly. Um, so this video sucked me in right away, and I thought it was very thought provoking. I especially liked how when she was talking about how she started to write when she was young, she started to write um, in the same way that the books she had read were written, with the foreign characters doing foreign things in a foreign place with foreign weather. Um, I just I thought that was very neat, and I can absolutely see how that relates to my own life, where I start doing too much of one thing or start reading too much about another thing, and I start to relate uh, that thing, whatever it may be, whether it's if I'm reading a lot on fly fishing in Montana, um, like when I read A River Runs Through It by Norman MacLean recently, and everything else that I did seemed to somehow relate back to fly fishing in Montana. And that's just an example of how I can relate everything back to that one thing that I've read, just like the speaker of the danger of a single story did. I also really liked how she talked about uh, really the single story idea, where her friend from the different village was always associated with being poor. So it blew her mind when she went there and she saw that they had made something, because she could never have associated their family with doing anything other than being poor. Um, thought this was it was very interesting and funny, because I went to Portland yesterday for the first time ever, and I thought people in Portland were very weird. So unconsciously, I associated everything with Portland with being weird, and I didn't really recognize that until I watched this video. Okay, so the next thing on my list to talk about is the implicit associations test. Um, so this test uh, was kind of irritating to me, uh, and it did not give me a good result. It said that there was too many errors to read, uh, and I think the idea of the test was to show people that they associate gay with being bad, just in their delayed response to the question. Um, However, I think the result would have been different if during the beginning of the test you had categories straight, good, gay, bad. and then the categories were switched. I think if they were switched where gay was good and straight was bad in the beginning of the test, then the the results would have been different, because making that change after I've already associated in this test that gay is bad and straight's good. If I started off with gay is good and straight's bad, then I think the results would have been different. Maybe I just don't want to accept that I associate gay with bad subconsciously. But like I said, the I felt the test was uh, created in a way to give those results. Um, that the last exercise that that I wanted to talk about was the "Are you in or out?" Uh, exercise with your in groups and your out groups, and I absolutely do tend to think of the members of out groups as more alien and more different than myself than my in groups. Um, I've got a handful of in groups, not a whole lot, but most of my interactions and my in groups are very close knit, and uh, on a weekly or monthly basis, I really interact with those 3 or 4 in groups, and that's it. I don't have much interaction with out groups, so it's hard for me to relate to anyone who is in an out group uh, and I don't see eye to eye with. um, what else? So, uh, under the 3 questions at the end, am I more likely to circle true for only some members and not most members of the group, of the out group as opposed to the in group? Um, I think I was pretty, most of my in group, I circled true for almost all members. I think we had very, in my mind anyway, very strong feelings as a group towards all of the questions, whereas the out group um, didn't so much. And my feelings for the out group were not as strong and as defined as the in group. So that's it. That's me. That's this assignment. And looking forward to hearing the rest of your videos. Have a wonderful day. Bye.